Come on in, join it. There we go. Go. I'm here. I just seen the clip where, I was like, she was standing up just a second ago. But, yeah. Okay, so, go ahead.
Okay, so the question was, how do you feel about the Kobe Bryant situation? Today is the 27th. It happened on the 26th. Okay, now that we got a background of what's going on.
Oh, you want to go first?
Basically, I was basically saying that I feel like I agree with my most the day it happened, but I don't really know this man. It's like he was worldwide known, but now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, how did this happen? Like, what happened? And, why are we only focused on Kobe Bryant and his daughter when there were other people on the plane? But it's just, I feel like we know him more, but we don't know him at all, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I was saying the same thing because I was like, basically, it really took me, I won't say it took me out, but it definitely hurt. But it was weird, it was more of a shock. And I'm like, when other celebrities died, I wasn't as shocked. But then we'll tap into that because it's a different reason why I wasn't really shocked. Like for me, a lot of celebrities I didn't know, but when they, or not know, but I didn't listen to, or I wasn't following them, or they didn't have an influence on me. And so it's like, when some of them died, I was like, yo, this shit honestly hit my spirit. But when Kobe Bryant died, it definitely was it was more of a shocking experience because you think he had, and I guess for me, the first thing I thought about was how he was cheating on his wife in that situation. I was like, okay, he finally has his life together. He's probably committing to his wife as a happy home, happy family. He was living not the prime, but to then have retired, I feel like he was in a good space. And he was a healthy man, so it was kind of just that was the first thing. So I was like, it's no way. This man, it's no way. All the trials and tribulations he had, he seemed like he's good. So I'm like, God. I was like, yeah, this fake news. I'm like, I don't believe it. And I guess he was really in public eye. Even though we know who he was, he's not always on social media. He's not tangible. It's not, you don't, I guess, not that you really follow his life, but it's hard to follow his life, I guess. To see it had come to be oh, he was going down the wrong road. I seen it coming. It was you didn't ever see it coming. So it was when he passed, I was really saddened by it. But I'm today I'm still really sad. I'm dang, it's really unfortunate. And then they're know that it was a child involved. So it's the wife didn't just lose, her husband. She lost two people at one time. Mm-hmm. But then I'm today I'm well, I just feel this social media shit is they put out what they want to put out, and they create the narrative and direct the narrative. And it's okay, no doubt that he passed away, but it's what happened? We know. Yeah. We can. It's not. And I think what I said was, it's not that I'm over his death, but it's now okay, I've post rationalized it. I kind of set with my emotions. Now tell me the logistics of it. How did this happen?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm. So the first day I was dang, okay. I was curious as to how did it happen, but at the same time I was overburdened with the sadness. But now I'm okay, it happened. It did happen. Now I'm how did it happen, and why is nobody talking about how it happened? Nobody's really talking about how it happened. They're talking about what happened and the fact that there's more than just them two people on a plane. And it also got me It got me to think about how people are so evil spirited. I won't say evil spirited because I feel like that's too big. But the first thing I saw, as soon as I found out about the news, less than 2 hours later, they already had T-shirts in the store with him, with his name, saying R.I.P. Selling them. And I'm whoa.
Somebody else, I was following this girl, she's very artsy, into art, and she was if I see friends, she's people love this clout shit where they want to make artwork now in remembrance of Kobe. And it's and the friend was basically if I see that shit, I'm unfollowing you. Because it's you're exploiting depth as now to
that's what and that's so crazy. Yeah.
If you're expressing yourself, I get that. Or if you're doing it as a donation charity, I get that. But that other shit, friend or not, I'm unfollowing you.
And I get that, and I'm so glad that someone else sees that, because I was people be saying stuff oh, and a lot of people be posting it on their stories, and I'm like, are you really sad, or like, are you just letting everybody else know that you know, now that we all know that we know?
Are you fitting in with like everybody? Like, oh, I gotta.
Yeah, and people get more likes when people die. I don't want to say it, but I had to say it. Somebody had to say it. People get more likes when somebody dies. So if you post somebody, first of all, I don't care who you are. Most people on this side did not know Nipsey Hussle. I didn't know who this man was. If it wasn't for Lauren London, I had no idea about his music, this, that, and that. To this day, people still got that man as their pictures, as his bio, selling shirts, just music. I bet his music rates and went up. It's crazy how you get popularized when you die. And I'm like, yo, I'm dead. Like, what was you doing when I was here?
They say you're never going to give you the round of applause. You're never going to smell the roses until you're gone. And now everybody's like, oh, damn, he really was good. He was the greatest. But it's like, I mean, I just think, I won't say it goes to that hating mentality, but I just feel like people can't be. It's so funny because I need you to watch the Joe Budden's podcast because that nigga be reading the fuck out of stuff. But he was basically like celebrities. Like, he was like, celebrities won't never like artists. Rappers never be like, hey, bro, publicly, I fucked it. Well, he was talking about Drake. He was like, a lot of niggas in the industry admire Drake, but you don't never hear niggas like, damn, Drake really good with this shit. Like, damn, I admire Drake because I feel like you're looked at differently for admiring somebody. And it's just like, why hate when you just say shit and let that person know, because you might be the light to their day. Like, and that goes to this in general. Like, people play this whole, I don't want to be the first to say it, or look like I have admiration for you. It's just like, it don't make you shine any differently because you see somebody else shining.
Yeah, and honestly, and even that, to say the lady, the day of, as soon as he died, a couple hours later, this lady posted the fact that he got dismissed from his rape case a while back. And I was like, why are you bringing it up now? You know, like, they was talking about, you know, they was like, if you're going to miss somebody, you should miss them with their totality, like, in all. Like, she was basically saying you need to know the all.
Totality?
Thank you so much. But she was saying that, she was like, you know, you can't just see him as a good person. You need to see him for who all he is. And I'm like, yeah, let these people grieve.
All you are. Like,
let these people grieve. And they said that she got suspended, but I'm like, suspended and fired ain't the same thing to me. So you can tell me a person got suspended all you want to. That's not gonna make me feel no type of way.
Well, I don't know. I don't think she should get suspended. I'm like, I mean, that's her right. That's her opinion. I do think that it's inappropriate.
Like, very inappropriate. Very inappropriate.
Insensitive. Like, but I don't think she should have got fired or anything. I don't think, because I don't know. I don't feel like she.
If you're a journalist, you know how people emotions are. You know how they read people.
But they make money. That's their job, to troll.
After he died, though, I could see Bill Cosby. He old now, so you saying that shit. But this man's still alive. Kobe Bryant just died less than an hour ago, and you telling me about his rape case. Him and his daughter and 9 other people just died. You telling me about his rape?
And I think it goes back to what we're saying about the whole clout thing. I feel like she did it, but she didn't want to be the popular opinion. She let me go opposite, and I'm gonna get all that attention because now it's like good or bad publicity is still publicity, and I stand by that. Honestly, so I'm like, I won't say that I stand by her and her decision because it's very inappropriate, very insensitive. But we have to first say that's her job, and her job is to make money. So to make money, she needs that attention. It's like, once again, I'm not justifying it, but I'm telling you the thought process to understand what the fuck. Why, I don't even say why she thought it was okay, because I know she knows it's not okay. But morals go out the door when money gets involved, I feel like.
Honestly, and then there's another journalist person that said the N-word, describing Kobe Bryant, and I'm like, what is going on?
And I'm just like, and I think this goes back to the whole black thing. I feel like when black people die, they love to tarnish the brand, and if it's not dead when they get old, when they're not at their prime or in the public eye, that's when people like to tarnish it. It's kind of like being vulnerable, and they shoot you when you're already low. And it's not, I'm not saying that they're low, but it's like I'm not at my prime. I'm kind of coming down, and I'm just trying to live a life. And as a celebrity, like you can, as us, we judge like celebrities like, oh, he's a one-hit wonder. Like then he was at his prime, now he going down. So it's kind of like, let me shoot him while he's low and get him lower.
Right.
Friend.
I come in peace. It took me forever to learn how to do this. My mom could do it so good. And I used to always be like putting my thumbs together, like trying to just.
They already look weird. They have their own mind of its own kind of, because they have like a little bend to them. So I'm like, you should be able to do it.
My fingers are like, I feel like my hands are the same size as yours. Unfortunately,
not really good if you had like bigger hands.
I feel like I could anyway, because people think I play basketball anyway, and I'm like, nah, I don't.
But let's go to wait. Was one person watching?
Yeah,
you. Last thing you see it went back to one, but I'm like, is that me? I thought I was the one person.
It says you. It says viewer is multifaceted journey, divine feminine.
But okay, and we can go on to talking about the whole, because I talked about the whole celebrities of like, okay, I felt Kobe Bryant's death, but we went to like Nipsey Hussle, and also I think it was like XXS Tenacious,
and even after that, Juice WRLD.
But like that goes to tell you exactly what I'm saying. Like I didn't know them, and I didn't listen to their music, and I didn't follow them, and I had heard of them. It's not that, but I wasn't engrossed in their life. But honestly, when they did pass away, that really took me out, honestly. Like the way
it didn't take me.
Really? I don't know. It was really weird, especially when the ex dude passed away. Because I know I watched one of his videos one time, and I think like on YouTube, and it was kind of him just talking about, because I had kind of heard like he was into drugs or something. I don't know enough. I ain't like I do. But then he wasn't on the right path at that time. He was more into drugs and doing stuff. And so he started talking about like, like as I started trying to shift my life, even though I'm not where I want to be, just trying to be more intentional about stuff I did. It was it still touched me. And this is when he was alive. So I was watching, I was like, it doesn't matter who's giving the message, it's about what the message is. And I felt like it was like, oh wow, like that I don't know, something had been intentional. So that's the last remembrance of me that I had. But that had been like maybe like a whole year, like before his passing. So it was like, but that's how I thought of him now, because that was my first introduction to him. So when he passed, I won't say that that's what like triggered me, but it was like, you don't have to look up kindred souls. Basically, I want to say I'm saying it right, but basically kindred souls are basically like family members in the spiritual realm. It's kind of like how I say me and you are soulmates, right? And when I say we're soulmates, because I feel like we have a deeper connection than just like physical. It's like a spiritual, it's like maybe we're here to teach each other something, maybe we're here to push each other, maybe we're here to get each other and be like that support. But it goes into like the spiritual world. So I had looked up, because like I said, when he passed, I was like, why is this shit hitting me? Like I had listened to him, I had known him, like it was really weird. But I looked that up, and while I was watching a YouTube video, somebody else commented underneath me saying that they felt the same way, like that they lost somebody they knew. And that's just so interesting. It's like, I think it goes to like your spirit and kind of recognizing somebody else who was like kind of like, I won't say an angel, but their spirit is kind of like, I don't know. Now that's hard to explain, because I won't say, because if somebody doesn't understand what I'm talking about, then they'll be like, an angel, he did all this stuff, how is he an angel? But I think his spirit has something, he had a purpose here. That's what it was. I think he had a purpose, and to see that his purpose either was served, I won't say cut short. Because nothing happens by accident. But it's still like, damn, that was his purpose. And he was really priming in his purpose, kind of. So it was like, I think that's what touched me, to see somebody else like in their purpose and feel his energy and never know him. And so even with like the hustle thing, it was like we said, we didn't know him. But it was something about his passing that really like touched me.
I know people grieve for people, But my biggest thing is social media and how people play on social media and how they know social media works as a whole. So people will be posting pictures of people that pass just to get some likes. And it might not even be to get likes, but what is your other purpose of posting it? Yeah. You know, like, what other reason do you have? And I see if you posted on your story, but if everybody if 100 million people knew Kobe Bryant, all 100 million of them people did not post on social media. But I bet you all his fans and people who just heard his name before, they posted on social media. And I'm like, you don't have to grieve somebody on social media. You know, and that's why I don't think people are understanding. Like, I was sad, but I didn't post nothing about him on my story. Nothing like that doesn't make me look like no bad person. I mean, you grieve your own way, but you're not. I don't feel like grieving is social media, and I feel like people always go straight to social. Oh, he died. Post him. Dang, he was a good man. Can't believe this happened. Wow. You saying what everybody else saying. You don't need. If everybody thinking it, everybody don't need to say it unless y'all gonna come out to
really well. Cause I'm like, why I didn't feel the need to I'm like, I didn't feel the need to really do it either. But I will say I wasn't in a sense of I played basketball, so I kind of used to love basketball, and some people love Kobe. So I'm like, I never was a Kobe fan. Not to say he wasn't good, but I'm like, it still touched me. But I was like, oh, I wasn't an absolute fan of Kobe. So I'm like.
And if you're a fan of somebody, post them. You don't have to post them when they're not dead. Show your gratitude when they're not dead, or do you know?
But I can see fans. I can see fans because I feel I was thinking if somebody that a celebrity that I really like and follow, and then it grows into them, and if they pass away, I think it definitely would be very triggering and very it would hurt a lot more. So it's kind of I can see me posting somebody like that. If I really love that person in a sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm I won't say it was bad that his fans posted it. I won't say that because we don't know. They probably used to post him all the time when he was playing basketball.
Yeah, but I mean, it just be people.
Yeah, because I've never seen pick up a basketball before, and I'm like, why are y'all moving so?
Or watch a game or nothing like that. It just be average black people out here talking about he gone, you know, and I'd be like, for why? And this one girl, and people get hella. First of all, I don't know if you know Juice WRLD, but Juice WRLD died a week ago or something. Before this year.
Plane too, I heard.
Well, the plane landed. He died because he had a seizure because of the drugs. It's all because of drugs, and people. And this man was like, y'all be glorifying drugs, but be sad when a person died. And I'd be like, yeah, and I don't understand that because people be so. They be so here for the aftermath, but they never there through the storm. Really, if I say the storm, I mean you don't try to help this person, but when they die, you be like, oh, I can't believe this happened to them, or
you didn't doing the drug right beside you one day, but you was probably turning him up, amping him up, doing it with him,
And then there's so many people like that, and I'd be like, oh, but you didn't see this coming. You thought he was gonna stop. And that gets me, and it pisses me off in the sense that people. And even if they fans, this man doing that. Send him positive words. If he might not look at your message, but do something. You can't just be like, you singing all the lyrics that he's singing that he learned from people that's popping pills just like him. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think that. I don't know how I go. But you get more.
Go ahead, sorry.
When I looked at his page, I'm like, I know damn well he didn't have all. And it's kind of crazy how you follow him a dead man page, They follow. When I tell you he had so many followers, I was like, y'all was not following this man that much. And then he had millions and millions of likes on all his pictures. I'm like, for why?
That's so
for why?
That really, it's a creepy feeling to and I think for me, because I know it's actually people that I still follow that passed away. Mm-hmm. And I think I don't know. I feel it's such a conflicted feeling because I'm like, oh, I guess I should unfollow them because I'm never going to see their post again. But then I'm like, well, why disrespect them and unfollow them? Because I don't know. And it's it shouldn't even be this deep, I feel like. But no, I just think in general, the whole, I I be feeling like I shouldn't even be following somebody who's dead because I feel like I get too attached to be like, dang, I'll never see them on my like timeline again or like anything like that. So the fact that people go follow somebody, dead, I'm just like, what? What is this and what is it doing? Like, what is it? What is it?
I think I should have seen this in 2009 when Michael Jackson passed because you know his album and sales went scout. First of all, he was already like, but when he died,
I mean that's have like you said with Nipsey. When he passed away, a lot of people had not listened, and it's people who I knew was fans of him, and they were like, "Yeah, nah, Nipsey hadn't put out nothing good, honestly, so we hadn't been really messing with him like that." I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, that's why y'all wasn't listening. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense, but it's just like, oh, now y'all listen to that same thing y'all said wasn't like all that, and I guess respect. I mean, I guess you're being respectful and really grieving with him and kind of wanting to feel his energy again. I guess.
No. And you can't even say no. I say no because if you thought, what is that saying? Keep that same energy.
I agree.
If you didn't mess with my music then, don't mess with my music now that I'm either dead or that I blew up. My music still. I'm saying my tone they changed. So if it was slow, then it's still gonna be slow. I just made it big, or I just died. It's not no.
It's not no in between. I just be trying to give the people the space to like play the game.
You're very optimistic. You're very optimistic.
Look, I just be like, I mean, maybe you just need to fit his energy again and feel like he's still here. And it's just like that is a move. It's so funny because I started talking in a different tone. I was like, you know, maybe it's just this thing. Like this is my tone. Like
you're so optimistic with shit. I be like, no, that if I feel something about a certain way, if I didn't like it then, I'm not gonna like it now. I don't care who.
Yeah, because
unfortunately.
That's so true because I had heard a song come on and I didn't know it was Nipsey, and I was like. I don't like this song. I don't like this song.
You're not gonna force me to like it because you did.
But I did feel bad to at least not. I should have never. It's in a sense I should have never expressed it, but I didn't ever express it in a bad thing. I probably was like, I gotta change this. I ain't feeling this, yo. Like kind of coming out like kind of cutthroat, but I'm like, oh, that was Nipsey. I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to do that.
It makes you feel bad, and I don't know what that is. I think that's human. I don't know what that's why is it like, oh, he's dead.
Like, I think it's like respect. They like respect somebody who passed. Like it's kind of like you have no reason to disrespect somebody who has passed. Like you don't get anything out of it. They can't redeem that stuff. They can't say anything back to you. Like so, I felt very disrespectful because I'm like, and it goes back to like kind of for me like his craft. Like I'm sure he was passionate about music. So it's like, say you're good at art and somebody disrespects your art. You're gonna feel that, and that's gonna be like an attack. On you, so I was like, I feel like I personally attacked him, and that wasn't my intention.
Okay, when you say it like that, then I see what you're saying. But I was gonna say, if that person was alive and you didn't like that music, then we would have just been like changed. Because I say it all the time. I'm like, this is bad.
That's
and
true.
It's like not until you figure out, and then another part of your subconscious, when you hear that person is dead, you're like, damn, I don't like it, but damn, I do feel bad. But at the same time, if that music not good, it's not good. And if that's not something.
I wasn't saying that his music wasn't good, like in that sense.
What you like?
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And it was just like I like singing along with songs. So I'm like, I never had heard the song. I didn't know where it came from, and I was like, I can't sing along. What's going on? Like, it just came out of the left field. I was like, this had never been on my playlist before. It had never been on my playlist before, and I didn't add it because I'm on Pandora at this point, so I didn't add anything. So I was just like, where this one come from? I don't like this because I was in a different vibe. Where this come from?
Yeah.
He did a song that's called Double Up. That's actually that he had a song with John Legend. Something basically in the sky, like he sounded like it was like a rest in peace song, but I think they had made it before, but it was very like touching and tender. It was very powerful. It was like I don't even listen to it that much, and I feel like it like touches me, and I'm like, I don't want to be sad.
I mean, but yeah, that just gets me how people react to certain situations. Like, you can mourn. I feel like people should give people room to mourn. If you're posting stuff all on your social media, everybody's seeing the same stuff. People don't need to keep getting. I mean, that's overbearing.
Too, because for me, I think that was the thing. Like, it really started, I don't know, making me mad or making me sad. It was like kind of mixed emotions, but it's kind of like I couldn't run from it. And I know that sounds bad, but it was just like, it was like in my face. And it's like, I can't even fucking sit with my thoughts about it. And I guess, once again, I shouldn't be on social media. If I'm that hurt and that more, like, you should probably be somewhere. Or be meditating, I guess. But I feel like
some people. My bad. I'm.
No, you good.
I feel like social media is some people's escape. People go to social media for escape. So if you can't escape from it, that's because I be going to social media for funny things. But if I'm like, damn, if I'm mourning, then I know you mourning. Social media don't need to know you mourning. We all mourning.
It's too heavy for me, and I'm just like, I can't not think about it because it's right here. Which I mean, that's very because it kind of makes you hit the target head on and have to kind of think about your emotions. Because I won't say that you cope better by having to hit it head on. Because like in the grieving process, everybody grieves differently at different stages at different rates. So, but it's good and bad. Like I said, it's like it makes you grieve heavy, and like you have to grieve because now you see it. But then I guess it's good not to try to suppress it either.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how we got to the Kobe Bryant situation. Oh, and we were also talking about how people were making profit. About like how people did T-shirts and
we talked about it. I think at the beginning
we already talked about it. Cool. Okay. Well, that's the end of this series, this episode of the roommate talking.
But wait, we're in the same room.
We not.
You got a whole empty bed behind you talking about roommate. I'm like, well, why am I in that bed? We'll tell y'all later.
Okay. But the next time we'll be talking about polygamy and how polygamy influenced society. So when we come back, that's what we'll talk about. See you guys. You gotta put your hand over the thing. I don't know how to. Do I just press the end button and it'll say
end it?
Okay. Bye guys.